Podcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey everybody, this is Greg Davis, superfillerrockstar.com. How you guys doing? You guys hear me out there?
Yes.
Type in the question box. Can you hear me? How you doing? There we go. Good. All right, cool. I appreciate everybody being on. Um, this is a really important topic, and I think that you guys are going to be really, um, in for a treat. Um, these friends of mine, man, they've been through hell in the past 2 years. Um, but instead of just kind of keeping all that stuff to themselves, they are actually coming out and trying to help other marketers, avoid some of the things that happen to them. All right. So Ben and Dave are really good friends of mine. I'm actually excited too because I hadn't really talked to them like in like almost 2 years, and so now they've kind of reemerged and really happy to talk to them again and hopefully to see them again soon. But I think it takes a lot of courage on their part to to not only just tell their story, but even more importantly to tell you the things to watch out for, so that you won't have some of the same issues that they had. All right, and besides that, like I said in the email, these guys got on the FTC's radar, not because they were just selling a few, units here and there. I mean, these guys were moving, over 1,000 sales per day. I mean, they was getting massive traffic, and so they're going to talk about that part too. But I first met, excuse me, I first met Ben back in 2009. Actually, the very first, I guess you could say, like seminar I gave actually was a really little mini private seminar in DC or Maryland. Ben was there. I actually met him through Ken McCarthy, and so he kind of got to see all the stuff I was doing like right when I was coming out as Mr. 50K a day, and just really had figured out some stuff on Google to really scale my traffic. And so because at the time he was a expert at buying traffic on Google as well, and actually he was buying traffic in like uh, niches with extremely expensive keywords like payday loans, like other like financial offers and stuff like that. So I was intrigued by what he did, and vice versa. So as we became friends, we traded a lot of of information that that helped each other. Then shortly thereafter, I met his partner Dave Clabeau. And hey, we had a lot of fun together. I mean, we had a lot of stuff in common. We're buying traffic. At the time, I think we're both doing biz op. And these guys, their business took off, and this was not the case of some slimy CPA offers and stuff like that. I mean, these guys were above board. I remember I wanted to do an advertorial for one of their products, and they were like, "Oh, no, we'd rather not do that." And I've been to their events. I've met a lot of the people that they've trained. They had the skill of actually training newbies. They had newbies that came through their system that were actually making money, which is not a small feat. Because trust me, I mean, teaching newbies how to make money in this business is not a very easy thing, but these guys were doing it. And, everything seemed to be above board, which is why I was so shocked when, when I got the news that they were getting sued by the FTC. So anyway, man, I'm looking forward to this. Like I said, I haven't even heard the whole story myself. This will be my first time hearing it, just like with you guys. So, grab a pen and pad, make sure you take notes and really take this stuff seriously. Okay. Because if you're in this business and you've ever promoted anything in the United States, this does apply to you, whether or not you live here or not. All right. If you've done business in the United States, then, federal government, can come after you. And if you don't believe me, look back on the company called Mega Upload. Okay. Like they were overseas somewhere, and the government went and got them. All right. So nobody's safe. If you're in this industry, you've ever done business in the United States, nobody's safe. So, but these guys are going to talk about how to keep you safe, folks. So without further ado, let me introduce my good friends Ben Moscow and Dave Clabeau.
Hey guys.
Yeah, thanks, Greg. And I just want to say congrats and nice move to the people who are on the webinar because, Greg, we kind of go way back when PPC, Google PPC just started, and it was really, talk about the wild, wild west in terms of what you could do, in terms of what you could do in terms of regulation and stuff like that, because a lot of the traffic buying and media buying was really in its infancy. So something like regulation was really not even a topic. But lately, obviously, with the affiliate industry pretty much controlling all of the media and all of the ads you see online, the government's obviously involved, and this is a mainstream topic. Ad tech, I think 2 years ago, they had the chairman of the FTC as one of the keynote speakers. So this, regulation and regulatory, no one is safe. It's not like the old days when you can just get in there and no one's going to pay any attention. Trust me, they are paying attention. And to my knowledge, this webinar is the first time I've seen any of this information really talked about. And so there's a couple ways you can get the information we're about to share. You can go through the experience we went through, and that'll cost you, like it did us, a few $1,000,000. You can't buy this on ClickBank. I suppose you could hire a lawyer who would walk you through and sort of steer you in the direction of what to do, and that would cost us $40,000. So I think the investment you're making today is a really good one.
That's right. And Greg, thanks for the terrific introduction. And you made a good point when you talked about how nobody is, no one's immune in today's society and market from government regulation and people coming in. Obviously, we're in the BizOp vertical, which is a little bit risky because it is watched by the FTC, but we didn't get caught or get in trouble because of what we were doing. We got caught because of what someone else was doing. So we're going to be sharing with you the things that we should have noticed or that we should have been more careful of that got us into trouble with the FTC and caught their attention, to make sure that you don't make those same mistakes. And just a quick example, if you're thinking, well, this doesn't count, this doesn't apply to me. Gibson Guitars, and if you read our email, Gibson Guitars was hit by the EPA, which, another government regulatory agency with 3 initials, same thing. EPA hit them, as well as the Department of Justice, for importing African rosewood without the proper permits. They came in with guns and seized their entire factory, shut it down for 3 weeks, seized a whole bunch of wood. Turned out they were wrong. They did have the proper permits, and they just said, "Oh well, sorry, our mistake." Though they didn't say sorry, or they didn't admit that it was their mistake, but Gibson lost $10 million north, and there was no repercussion because you can't sue the government. They just lost out. And it would give you a million examples like this. Google paid a $500 million fine because for letting people going onto AdWords and selling prescription drugs online. UPS paid a $40 million fine to avoid criminal prosecution, same type of thing. Those are both FTC lawsuits. So everyone is, if you're making money, you're on the radar, essentially. So we got some really cool stuff that we're going to share. In addition to all that, obviously we're going to share our traffic stuff with you, and we're doing really well before the FTC came, and bang, and that's a big kind of messes with your head really good, and it took us a little while to get back on our feet, but about 4 months ago we did, and a lot of the things that we were doing are working really well, and we've discovered some new things that we're going to share with you on the call. So 2 things that we want you to walk away with, 2 main principles. Number 1, how to keep yourself safe, and number 2, how to run massive traffic to your website. There's more traffic than ever. It's so abundant right now. So we'll get into all of that with you. Let's jump into the first slide. Ben.
All right, so yeah, this is definitely not going to be all doom and gloom. We just want to give you enough to protect your empire, and then show you some really crazy traffic strategies. So I guess we'll just kind of go back to when it all happened, and we were actually at AdTech. We were in our hotel suite. We were staying at the London in New York City, and we had just hired a new employee to handle some telephone customer service, and we put him up in one of our offices. We had 3 offices. And so he was new. I think it was either his first or second day at work. So second day at work, and we're at AdTech and meeting people and going around, and we had just gotten back to our hotel to relax for a little bit before we went out to dinner. at Del Fresco's steakhouse. And Adam, the employee, called Dave, and Dave's like, "Oh man, what now?" Because he was new, so he would call Dave with questions, and usually it was just related to customer service. And I remember Dave saying, "Oh, what now? What else does he need to know?" And Dave picked up the phone, and Adam said, "Dave, there are FBI agents here. They have guns and badges." So Dave turned white as a sheet, was panicking. He said to me, "Hey, there's the FBI's at our office, and they have guns." Turns out it was not the FBI, it was actually the FTC. When they sue you, they come in with a big police force, government agents, and they're all armed, and they also come in with a court-appointed receiver. So it's basically similar to like a SWAT team coming into your office. And they came into the office. They tried ripping the phone out of the guy's hand, our employee's hand. Basically, shut down the office, which is a brand new office. There wasn't much in there, but they moved to the other offices we had as well. We had two other offices where we were actually delivering the product we were selling. They went in again, same thing. Big team of police officers. One of the offices, the one I work at, no one was there because I was the only one that worked out of the office. They drilled through the lock, basically, like broke in, and they break into your office. The third office we had like employees working there, just printing DVDs and shipping and stuff like that. And these were all like college-age girls, girls that were in their 20s working there, and they came in and they threatened to arrest them. They were absolutely terrified. They said, "We'll arrest you if you speak to Ben or Dave." And so it was just, we're usually pretty good under pressure, and if you're an entrepreneur, your job is to sort of problem solve, and you probably do that all day. But this was, like a storm that we had obviously never weathered before, so it was complete shock.
It was particularly a shock because 6 months prior to that, we had worked with a company called ERSP, a self-regulatory agency, and they had kind of given us the green light saying, "Look, you guys are compliant, your website looks great, you're good to go." And we'll get into them in a second, but we really literally did not see this coming. So let's go back to the beginning and show you exactly what went wrong and what we did wrong and what you can do to just not make those exact same mistakes.
Right. So I guess we'll take you all the way back to around 2000, 2001. Dave and I that's kind of our first internet campaign, is we would take out tiny classified ads in newspapers, and we would drive them actually to a website, and on the website they were able to purchase a book on how to play blackjack. And this is before we knew anything about affiliate marketing or what a back end was even. And we made quite a bit, a decent amount of money back, way back in the day before people really were comfortable buying stuff on the internet, just taking out ads and sending them to a website. Then that business sort of kind of died out because what we were selling became irrelevant. So we kind of just did the traditional route of getting a job. I worked as a lawyer for about a year and a half, and one day I was at work, and there was a girl who was my age, and she pulled into the parking lot of the law firm, and she's driving a BMW, and her car was a lot nicer than the cars that my partners, the bosses, were driving. And she was telling me, "Yeah, I'm doing this side business online," and she said it was affiliate marketing, and she showed me some of her websites, and I'm like, "Oh man, this is cool. I got to do that too." So figured out how to build websites, did affiliate marketing. Within about 8 months, I was making enough from that to quit the lawyer job and start it full time. And if you've ever been in that position where you can focus 100% on what you love and what you like to do and what makes a lot of money, then you'll experience crazy growth like I did. And pretty soon I was doing about $1 million in commissions per year. I told Dave about this. I'm like, you got to get into this. This is amazing. And so he did. and we were doing extremely well promoting, doing lead gen for law firms, subprime products, really competitive type spaces. But the margins were still really good if you knew what you were doing, and so we were, making a very, very, very comfortable income, having a ton of fun, and then I called Dave up and I said, hey, we should sell this. We should write a book and sell this. And this is before really there were a whole lot of biz ops on affiliate marketing. Dave,
And in fact, we didn't know what a biz op was at the time. We didn't know that that's what we were selling. We just had the idea to let's sell a book that teaches people how to do what we're doing. And yeah, Ben, what were you saying?
Yeah, you want to tell the story about the Palms?
Sure. Yeah, we were at Affiliate Summit. I was walking around. Ben hadn't arrived yet. Walking around with our programmer Steve, and ran into a guy. Wait, is it okay to say his name?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. No. Oh, yeah. Ran into Dan Van Orman. He worked for a company called Prosper at the time, and he knew that we were selling our work from home product, which I think at the time we still didn't get what work from home was. We were just teaching people how to do affiliate marketing, and he, walked by him and said, "Hey, Dave, how's that? How's your affiliate marketing training course doing?" I'm like, "Oh, we're doing really well. We're selling maybe 20 units a day or so." And he's like, "Well, let me take you guys to dinner up at that restaurant at the top of the Palms, and I'd like to do something with you guys. I'd like to work with your leads and sell them coaching and kind of do a rev share on that." And Ben, you want to take the story from there?
Yeah, so essentially they said to us, okay, guys, we're going to take your product and we're going to run it through our affiliate network, and we'll give you a small royalty on the back end. So it was sort of like a white label deal, and we created the product, the core product. They drove the traffic and did all the merchanting and customer service. So, to use an analogy, it's like if you have the Baltimore Ravens and they're selling their jerseys and merchandise through other stores, sporting goods stores. Each sporting goods store is sort of responsible for handling everything from A to Z, except the content creation. So that was basically the arrangement we had with them, and they blew this offer up extremely quickly. I think within a few weeks of putting it out into their network, they were selling between 300 and 500 units a day, and they grew so quickly that they didn't have the proper support to handle all the volume. And this is where it gets, you should really kind of pay attention to this, is that they didn't have the proper infrastructure. So customers were asking questions about their website and trying to get, they had questions about affiliate marketing, and their customer service staff was so far behind that it was taking a long time for them to get answers. And when you have customers who aren't happy, it's never a good thing. So we went to Prosper and we said, guys, you have to correct this immediately. We need our customers to be happy, and they need to get white glove customer service. And they said, okay, guys, that's no problem. We'll take care of that. We'll hire new people, and they did, but they didn't quite ever get that piece of the puzzle right. So we cut ties with them. We said, look, you're not doing things right. We need to let you go, and we cut the offer. Then about a few months. Yeah.
I was just going to say, important to note there is that was the first big mistake, the first big thing that we did wrong that got us in trouble. Because what happened was, by not properly giving proper customer service, Prosper, the actual delay, it was like a 6 to 10 day delay before they would respond to a customer email. So the customer emailed saying, hey, I need help with my website. How do I do X, Y, Z? They wouldn't hear a response. The day would go by, so they'd email again and say, hey, I didn't, what's going on? Help me with this. Day 3, they still haven't heard anything. Day 4, day 5. Finally, they're like, you know what? Just give me a refund. This isn't working because I'm not getting any response from you. So then it's been 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days, no response. They asked for a refund. Now they're going to file a chargeback, and then they're filing complaints with the Better Business Bureau. And that right there is number one lesson here, is you have to always answer all customer service emails immediately, preferably within a few hours, 24 hours max. Customer asks for a refund and they don't get it, or if they ask for help and they don't get it, they're going to file a complaint with the Better Business Bureau. What happens when they do that is the FTC takes notice. If you're getting Better Business Bureau complaints, the FTC is watching. It doesn't take that many. We actually just talked to someone recently who had, I think, 14 complaints, and his $80 million business was shut down about 6 months before ours was. So very important. Make sure all customers, even if it's just small percentage, we were doing hundreds of thousands of customers, but I think we had a total of 77 Better Business Bureau complaints, and that was kind of the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter that. Oh, go ahead, Ben.
Go ahead. That's what I was going to say.
As I say, it didn't matter that our clients, our actual customers, we didn't. Our customers were being serviced. It was Prosper that wasn't servicing their customers, but since Prosper was selling our product with our name on it, the complaints were coming to us. The BBB complaints were about Ben and Dave. So it doesn't matter that we were doing everything right. It doesn't matter that this only lasted about 4 to 6 months, and then we fired Prosper. The complaints were there, so the nails were in the coffin.
Yeah, and the other thing that we learned about the Better Business Bureau is you might think, well, I sold 1 million products and I got 10 complaints, so that's actually really good. That's only one out of 100,000 people. They don't look at that. These people don't think like you do. They've never run businesses. They don't know what it's like to run a business and have to juggle 1 million different things. They just look at, well, how many complaints do you have? If you got more than 10, you've got a problem. So you could have 10 customers and 10 complaints, or 10 million customers and 10 complaints. You're still up on the radar.
Right. So takeaway lesson here again is customer service has to be white glove. Answer all customer service emails, inquiries within a couple hours. Don't let it wait over the weekend. You can outsource this, hire somebody. It's very easy to do. HireMyMom.com, Elance.com. You can find and train people to do this. There are plenty of people willing to work from home and handle your customer service for you. Other takeaway from this right here, BBB complaints. If you are getting them, even one every month or one every other month, you need to make sure you change what you are doing so that you get 0 of them every month or every other month. That means calling customers, doing whatever you have to do. Cannot get BBB complaints. It's essentially a lead gen system for the FTC. This is where they find the people that they're going to target.
Right, and it doesn't matter like who's right. You'll get customers who are honestly like crazy, and they want the world, and they want it delivered today, and it doesn't matter right, wrong, or otherwise. It doesn't matter who's right or whether the customer is right or whether you're right. It's just a matter of staying off that radar and doing whatever you have to do to make sure you're not on it. So anyways, with our situation, we were feeling real good because we got rid of Prosper. We brought everything in house. All customer service was answered in 2 hours or less. We even got the stamp of approval. There's an organization called the Electronic Retailers Association, Electronic Retailers Self-Regulation Association, and it's basically a team of sort of quasi-regulators, and they sent us a letter after we fired Prosper and said, hey, we saw you guys are doing this, and can you work with us and just make sure that you're compliant, legally, advertising compliant? And we knew we were because we had all kinds of lawyers look at our stuff, and we complied with them. We gave them all sorts of like stacks and stacks and stacks of documentation proving we had earned every penny that we said we earned, that our customers had earned every penny that they said that they earned, and they worked with us. We changed a couple things on our website, like a couple minor things that they suggested we do. They said, you guys are great. You've got tons of customer success. We've never seen this before. You're compliant. You're good to go. And we said, this is amazing. We've got basically a stamp of approval. Everything was in-house. Everything was happy employees, happy customers, and then things were really good at that time. So we were doing seminars, meeting really interesting people, like being able to train with Marcio Cruz, who was a UFC heavyweight champion. We had live events where we brought in celebrities. This guy right here is the guy in the middle. This old guy is Drayton Bird. He wrote the copy for American Express. So we were traveling all over the place, I guess as you would say, living the internet lifestyle and really having a good time. And then we got sued. And just so you know, this is basically what happens when you get sued by the FTC. This is what you can expect to happen. So wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy, but just so you know, and can be sort of prepared in case. Most of the time they sue you in civil court, and civil court is not criminal court. Civil is the same as a slip and fall injury. Same court as car accidents and things of that nature. But if you're on the other side of a government lawsuit, they play by entirely different rules. Most civil cases, if you sue somebody, you have to prove that they're wrong and that there's damages there. If you're sued by the government, they take all of your money first, and then you have to prove that the allegations are wrong. So,
and that interesting story there is that when I told my buddy about this, who works, when this happened back in November of 2012, told my buddy Dan about it, who's a police officer with TPD, does undercover, Tampa Police Department, does undercover work, drug seizures, things like that, like the real kind of the crazy stuff. He's a little bit crazy. And I told him, like, yeah, they just came in and took everything. They drained our bank accounts. They went into our offices and seized everything. They drilled out our safe deposit boxes and drained them. He was super angry because he's like, well, you got to be kidding me. When we do like federal drug raids, we're not allowed to go into safe deposit boxes because we don't know what's in there. It may not be pertinent to the case, so we don't have any reason to go in there. So even if you're selling drugs and killing people and moving tons and kilos of cocaine, you are better protected than if you're selling how to do affiliate marketing online. The Federal Trade Commission is extraordinarily powerful. So they seized everything. They took a bunch of furniture from one of my houses up in Buffalo, New York, and within 2 months of seizing it, the case is settled on my end with neither admitting or denying guilt, so on and so forth. But a year before the case settled, they went and auctioned all that furniture off because just assuming they're going to win and they're going to get to take the money from selling the furniture. So they don't play by any rule. Nowhere else in government or law does that happen. That's clearly not fair when they seize your property and auction it off without, long before the case is over.
Right, and I was thinking, when all this happened, our business account, one of our business accounts, had been seized immediately, and I was thinking, okay, well, this really sucks, and we're probably going to have a big battle to fight here. But hey, at least I've got my other personal accounts, and I have savings accounts, and I have my other affiliate marketing businesses that are totally unrelated to this, and the accounts connected to them. And then as soon as the clock struck midnight that night after we got sued, my cell phone started blowing up with text messages. And each text message that came in was from a different bank saying that my bank balance was minus $10 million. And this is something we learned, that when the government seizes your bank accounts, they actually, it's notated on there that it's minus $10 million. Just in case any money comes in, it goes straight to the government. So within a matter of minutes, I had 12 text messages, each from a different bank account saying, you're negative 10 million. So on paper, overnight, I went from being a millionaire to having negative $120 million. And I thought, some of this stuff would be safe, like joint checking accounts with your wives, not safe. Unrelated business accounts, not safe. The 401k, if you have anything in retirement, that is subject to seizure too. College, if you have college savings accounts for your kids, that's not safe. Safe deposit boxes, we call them unsafe deposit boxes now because I had about 25 grand in one of the boxes, and the morning after this happened, I went to the bank. Oh, and when they sue you, they do it at like around 4:45 or 4:50 in the afternoon, right before the banks close, so that you don't have time to run to the bank and take any withdrawals out. So next morning, get in the car. I'm like, okay, well, this is obviously a rainy day, so let's get that rainy day cash out. And went to the back of the room where they keep the safe deposit boxes. Had my key and my ID, and the lady was standing there like shaking because there was a big sign on my safe deposit box that said seized by the federal government. They came in, drilled out the safe deposit box, emptied the cash, and this is all before any proof of guilt or innocence. Then I'm like, okay, well, I've got a couple of cars that I could sell and live off of that money for a while until I get something going. Well, you can't sell any personal property. They actually do what's called a temporary restraining order or an asset seizure, and everything you have, including your cars, jewelry that you might own, it's a violation of the court order to actually sell any of that for money. You'll be breaking the court order, which you could get in some real trouble for. Let's see here. We're going to get to some good stuff, guys, so just hang in there. We just want to kind of give you the heads up on this stuff. I'll get to the traffic in a minute. Let's see here. You have to do a sworn personal financial statement right after it all happens. You have to turn it in like 5 days, where you have to tell them like every asset that you own, including property that's in your house or in other people's names, and you can't lie on that either, because if you lie on that, you'll get in some real trouble. So for me personally, I'm like, okay, well, at least I have a home equity line of credit. I can borrow against that, get some cash out on that, and we took out 20 grand on that. But then we found out that because even though it was joint property, our house was in both my name and my wife's name, they ordered us to give that back, to pay that cash back, which we had to do. So you're really kind of like, I mean, talk about they take you out at the knees. I mean, this is like fighting a Brock Lesnar with both arms tied behind your back. I mean, it's tough. Dave, you want to cover some of this stuff?
Yeah, let's you want to just kind of skip through it to talk about, rather than the whole seizure, just get into more of the warning signs?
Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, this is interesting. When they take your office over, they actually keep you out of it for a couple of months until they empty it. They take everything out of your office. If you have any personal items in there, you can pretty much forget about it. That's all sold at a government auction. Oh, and they were also calling our customers too at work, asking them if hey, did you buy this? Did you feel ripped off? And our customers said, no, we actually, some of our customers called us and said, yeah, these government people called me and said, do I feel like I got ripped off? And they would call me at work identifying themselves as FTC officials, and they would say, no, I don't, I feel like it's a great investment. So here are the warning signs. Dave, you want to take this?
Yeah, one of our, we had a customer service crew running our customer service. Our manager would always check and see who was logged. We actually just used Gmail for our email account, and she would check and see who was working and make sure people weren't cheating on their timesheets. Check in Gmail to see who's logging in, and you can do this lower right-hand side of any Gmail account. There's a little button, I think it's details or something, and that's how you can see who is logged into your account. And she's like, yeah, Dave, I'm noticing yesterday and today there's people logged in to the Gmail account from Washington, D.C. Like there's an IP address from D.C. showing up there. And I brushed it off, like, oh, it must be a fluke. I don't know, maybe Google has a web crawler over in D.C. and that's what's showing up. But I wish I would have paid a little better attention, because that was actually the FTC hacking into our Google account and checking it out. So that's a warning sign, something you can kind of monitor and check if you're in a really high-risk industry, or even if you're not, because again, Gibson Guitars, and all-American guitar manufacturer was raided and had lost millions. Another thing, this was actually the day before Monday. We went into Bank of America in New York City, and we're just doing a forget what the transaction was. It was adding a business to an account or something to that effect. Something that should have been real simple and taken about 10, 15 minutes. And it took us had to be like well over an hour, hour and a half type of a thing. And the guy kept getting up from his office, going back, coming back and forth and back and forth. He seemed real frazzled or nervous. We kind of why, I don't get this, what's going on? Why is this such a big deal? But obviously the bank knows in advance that the money's going to drain out. You can't, the FTC, the receivers, they can't go around to everything all at once and just tell them, okay, it's 5:45, excuse me, 5 o'clock, time to take the money. Then I get a little echo. I don't know if you can play with that a little bit, but
Is this any better?
hello?
Yes.
Still got the echo. Check.
Try.
Hello, hello? Okay, no echo now. That's good. So if you're in the bank and your bank seems unusually frazzled, you may want to pull all of your money out really quickly. I don't know if you'd be able to, but I'd just get out what you can. So that's another big warning sign. A couple more big ones. I don't know if it's in the slide or not, but one is the FTC in March. We were sued in November. In March, they mailed us, FedEx overnighted us a letter alerting us of the new business opportunity rule, which said a bunch of things. It's 8, 10, 12 pages long, but it says you cannot sell somebody a business opportunity promising where you're going to buy something back from them. So like for envelope stuffing, you can't say, okay, pay me $50, I'll send you a box of envelopes, you stuff them, I'll buy them back for $200. If you do that, you have to give the person a 7-day advance notice. So they have to sign a sheet of paper that says, yep, I know what I'm getting into. You're going to buy these envelopes back for me once I've stuffed them. And then it's 7 days later that they're allowed to then purchase. Clearly, that rule didn't apply to us. We weren't buying anything back. We were teaching how to do affiliate marketing. So we assumed that the rule didn't apply to us. It doesn't matter. The Federal Trade Commission sued 70 business opportunity work-from-home programs at the exact same time they sued us. It was a huge sweep. And they lumped us in with everyone else, and they said, no, you're a biz op, and you broke the business opportunity rule, which it's black and white. We did not break it. We did not, the case being over, did not admit to breaking because we didn't. It's on record. It's, but they still accuse you of it. It doesn't matter. So if you get a letter from the FTC alerting you of some new law that they just wrote, watch out. That's not a good sign. That means they're watching you. ERSP, we talked about that. They did that review with us. The BBB complaints, not percentage-based. Again, I talked to a colleague a couple weeks ago who had 14 complaints, and they came in and seized his business that was generating $80 million a year. $80 million the year before. They're looking to do 130 the year that he was hit. And it's everything's gone. Everything's gone. I guess we didn't have money overseas. Even if you do have money overseas, you have to sign a sworn affidavit saying, here is all my money, and yes, I have accounts overseas here, and if you lie on that and they find out, oh, here's clear paper trail, you transferred money to an overseas account and you didn't tell us about it, then you're looking at criminal charges, you're looking at prison. So industry scrutiny, that's another big mistake. Good point. Business opportunity was being watched. It always is being watched. Right now they're not watching it too closely, but it's one of those industries that the FTC likes to target. They like to target pharmaceuticals, nutraceuticals, weight loss, acai berry, like all those types of things. If you're in one of those industries and you're doing well in it, you could probably do well in another industry. I would recommend you move into another industry. It's not worth the stress of losing everything. We're lucky to have gotten hit young and only lost a few $1 million. If this happened when we were 50 years old and retired, I don't know what I would do. I do know what I would do. I'd get my car, drive 120 miles an hour into a bridge and back that. But that's not a desirable outcome. So to protect your castle, number one, guys, issue refunds fast. It doesn't matter if you're right and the customer's wrong. If they want a refund, just issue it. Then they can't complain. It's over. There's going to be 5% of people are huge scumbags, probably more than that, but 5 are really big scumbags, and they're going to try. They take advantage of people. You know, they'll buy your product, they use it. Give you an example. There's people who buy a pool from Walmart, like those backyard pool kits that you can buy at Walmart for a few $100s, and they'll buy them on Memorial Day weekend, and on Labor Day weekend, because Walmart has a liberal refund policy, they return those pools, having used them all summer long. So there are scumbags out there. They're going to take advantage of your business. It's a cost of doing business. It's okay. Their lives are miserable. It doesn't matter. Issue them the refund. Same thing, customer service. We talked about this. Always, without exception, prompt customer service. Don't be right. It doesn't matter. Yeah, if you're getting BBB complaints, you need to do something different. They'll shut down any business. Got to change what you're doing. Figure out how to not get them. So that's about it for the FTC. That's the scary stuff. It is extraordinarily traumatic. Hopefully you never have to go through it. If you follow what we did here, you should be able to avoid it. And if you read between the lines, I'm sure there are ways to protect your money. We showed you how you can lose your money. We knew how to lose our money. We didn't know how to protect it. But don't have your money in any of those places if you want to protect your money. Now, exciting part of today, massive traffic. I'm sure if you've been in online marketing, you've been Google slapped, you've been Google banned. You talk to some Google employees, some 20-year-old, 21, 22-year-old kid fresh out of college who thinks they know everything, and they condescendingly go over your business. And then you got a good story here.
Right. So I'm sure if you have been Google slapped, you have your own stories. But I was promoting a law firm, doing lead gen for a law firm. So if anyone is compliant with advertising regulations, it's going to be a big group of lawyers. And I had, Google really dialed in anywhere from 20,000 to 50,000 on the high end net profit a month. So, and most of it was from Google. So I was really happy, really pumped. And then one day I got a phone call from a Google employee, and they were letting me know that my account was going to be shut down, and I was banned for life from selling anything on Google. This came as sort of a shock to me, and of course I gave them a little bit of pushback. And the person who was making this decision, probably fresh out of college, I'm sure she had actually never spent a dime of her own money on advertising. And when I asked them why they were shutting it down, they said, "Well, your advertising copy just makes it seem like it's too easy." And the legal service actually, it was easy. They had been in business for about 20 years, and they were really good at what they did. And to sign up for their service, you simply just had to sign up, provide them with your paperwork, and they did all the work, literally all the work for people. And so I said, well, the service is easy and it's convenient, and none of that really mattered. They had already made their decision. So anyways, a few of these types of things had happened, and we really just got fed up with kind of the ups and downs and emotional roller coaster. So we decided there's got to be other traffic out there. Let's go find it. Let's go test and experiment with a whole bunch of other stuff. And what you're about to see is the result of all of those experiments in terms of where we found the absolute just high quality, super high ROI without any of the typical Google dancing or Google hoop jumping that you have to go through. So this is the traffic, and this is the traffic that both worked extremely well with our products, in the work from home space, as well as right now. We're still using the same strategy, same traffic for both our own businesses and clients as well. We have clients that we do consulting with and traffic consulting with. So this is really kind of one of my favorites. And Greg, I know that you've had success with AdSonar, but there's more traffic with AdSonar than I ever thought possible, and it's really, really easy to scale. Like with some of the other traffic sources, it's sort of hard. You really have to go in and push buttons real hard. But with AdSonar, once you get it running, once you get a placement running, you can almost just up your budget and the traffic shows up. There's dozens of sites in AdSonar they get 10 million to 50 million impressions a day. And the really cool thing about AdSonar is that with these types of sites that you have access to, they're the type of sites that you normally have to do like an insertion order, like a media buy. So let's say if you want to buy traffic from CNN, I've never tried to buy traffic from CNN individually, but I would imagine that there would be an insertion order. You might have to pay $10,000 or $20,000 up front just to find out, will this traffic source work or won't it work? With AdSonar, you can go in and for $100 to get your account live, you can go in and cherry pick from all of these sites that have just an enormous amount of traffic coming to them every single day. You can buy placements on one site or as many as you want. So this is really an awesome chance to scale. The other cool thing about AdSonar is that the mobile traffic is super high quality. I've bought mobile traffic from a whole bunch of places. You probably have too, and you might have bought traffic that's sort of junky, or it's on an app, or it's people who are just accidentally clicking the ads and all that sort of stuff. AdSonar has been the place where we've really found terrific high quality mobile traffic, and it's inexpensive. It's on a CPC basis, pretty inexpensive sites. There's some sites we never got into because the minimum bid is $3 or $4 or $5, sometimes $7, but the vast majority of them are all clicks for under $1. Some of them are as low as a penny per click. And they're pretty liberal. They're pretty good to work with. There's some stuff that they don't allow in, but it's real laid back relative to Google. So, for example, they're cool with work from home as long as it's not completely outrageous. They are okay with weight loss products, and a lot of the stuff that you have trouble with on Google, AdSonar is like, yeah, bring it on. We welcome your business. This is just what the interface looks like as far as the types of sites that are available, and it's just amazing the types of websites you can get on. Again, it's $100 to get in, and then you can set a daily budget, I think as low as $10. So it's a terrific place to come in and experiment with a little bit of money on sites you normally need, like a separate media buy to get traffic from.
And guys, the cool thing is with AdSonar and advertising.com, the exciting thing is these are all sites that you used to have to go work with individually, do an IO or an insertion order, and pay $10,000, $20,000 up front. And if you've had to deal with that in the past, that was such a pain in the butt. So awesome place to be able to just try a lot of different sources. And with Google, you've got one source, you've got Google, and you do have their content network. But here you've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands of different websites that are all top-notch sites, like CNN Money. If you have a finance offer, they work really well there. Whatever offer you're good at, whatever your niche is, there's going to be a ton of traffic for that offer and for that niche here for you. And traffic, just like anything else, once you've got an offer dialed in, it's just a matter of getting more traffic to it. It's like dumping more fuel into the car so you can drive farther. The more good quality traffic you get, the more money you're going to make. This is one of the great spots to do that. It's just take the time. If you don't know AdSonar, you're not familiar with it, we're giving you a good little overview and showing you the good sites, and we're actually going to share with you an absolute gem in AdSonar in a little bit. But it's just an awesome traffic source, and this gem area is super cool. That's worth every bit of this call. But so yeah, spend the time. If you haven't used AdSonar yet, now's the time. This is what's going to put you over the edge. This is just one of several sources we're going to show you. But anyway, go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, so this is just one of the accounts that we have with AdSonar, and you can see the prices here. Cost per click is all extremely reasonable, and these are just some of the sites that you can get traffic from. And obviously the volume is there. This is just one of the AdSonar accounts over a span of I think it was maybe 6 to 8 months of traffic, and this is with a daily cap. We would consistently hit our daily cap in this account, so there was more available. We had to turn it off simply because of we couldn't handle the the amount of volume. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, so this is really cool. This is the other half of that screen where it shows you the number of conversions and the cost per conversion. So if you're an affiliate right now and you're running CPA offers, this is really, really cool. The offer that you see, the numbers that you see here, this is for an offer that was a short form offer. First name, last name, address, email, and phone number. And these are the cost per conversions that we were getting and the number of conversions we were getting on each of those traffic sources, all within AdSonar. So what I'm telling you is you can see the numbers here and the cost per conversion that you get on this, and most affiliate offers for a form like that, they're going to pay you at least $4 as a street payout. Typically, it's going to be a few dollars more than that, but even on the very, very low end, like a street payout for an affiliate offer, if you can get it, so that it's converting at these same numbers, which you can, then you can obviously do the math here and figure out what that is worth to you. And keep in mind too, these were validated leads. We had, every lead that came in, we would validate it as far as being legitimate address and phone number. So this isn't just, like people typing in fake leads. This is all genuine, validated leads. And this is just to give you, this is just kind of like a free gift to you. These are the sites that were working extremely well for us. And I think there's 1,600 placements you can choose from in AdSonar. And the mentality you have to have when you're buying traffic from AdSonar is to think needle in a haystack. Meaning, out of those 1,600 placements, you're going to find a couple absolute grand slams, and then there's going to be, most of the other stuff just isn't going to work, especially right out of the gate without, some real work. But these are the sites here that after testing and sort of tracking and figuring out what works and what doesn't work, these are the sites that were absolute home runs within AdSonar for our campaign.
And don't worry, as long as you, again, if you're happy with the value of this seminar and you decide to stay on and pay the $97 at the end, or 5 days from now, you'll get this slideshow. So you'll get this, and you'll have this for your records.
Okay, so these are the strategies that really work when you're buying AdSonar traffic. Again, needle in a haystack. If you buy traffic from, let's say, if you test from 10 different websites, well, one of them or maybe two of them might work, and the other ones, they might not work at all. So just go in with that mentality, and we have a strategy we'll share with you right now for, you may say, well, Ben, I don't want to spend a whole ton of money on stuff that doesn't work. We actually came up with a strategy that allows you to do kind of like micro testing on each placement that you buy from. So really with AdSonar, you can go in. Let's say you've got a financial offer in the financial niche, and you can go in and you can say, all right, I'm going to comb through every one of these placements. It's like, picture going to like a big Las Vegas buffet, and there's like 100 different dishes you can choose from, and you can kind of go through and pick and choose the very best dishes, your favorite dishes. It's pretty much like that with AdSonar, where you go in and you look and you say, all right, well, I've got this financial offer. I want to get traffic from the money section of the AOL properties, or I'm going to go after the MSNBC traffic. You can go in and you can do that and kind of make an educated guess as to what you think is going to work. Here's a big tip: limit your campaign to just a handful of placements. When we tried this, we kind of like got hosed. We lost our shirts at first because we would go in and we would get really excited and pick like 100 different websites and run them all at once, and our budget would be used up within a couple of hours. Typically, what would happen is one of those placements would eat up all the budget, and if it didn't work, you're kind of out that money. So kind of keep it small, like walk before you run, in other words, with this, and just limit your budget. Be smart about that. And then also test on micro conversions. So if you've got, let's say, a product that's $300 and you're trying to send traffic directly to a $300, sales letter, it's going to be really, really tough to optimize that and figure out what works. You could probably be testing that for the next 40 years and never figure it out. Instead, focus on like micro conversions. So if you're collecting maybe an email address, you can literally buy.
In and out a little bit.
How's this?
Try talking. I'll let you know.
Yeah, is this any better?
Still
Testing.
fading. It's like are you far away from your modem thing or?
No, it should be. Is this any better?
Sounds good to me.
Greg, can you hear him?
Yeah. I can hear him fine.
Okay, maybe I'm fading in and out. Okay. Go ahead then.
Okay. All right, so with Ad Sonar, do micro conversions, try to collect a name and email first, and then that way, if a site isn't working, you don't have to spend more than 10 to 20 clicks. If after 20 clicks not a single person has typed in their name or email address, you just turn that off, and you never have to worry about spending money on it again. You just keep the good stuff. All right, people are saying, Dave, they're all blaming you. They're saying you're the one with the problems.
Okay. Sorry, guys. It's working now.
Minimum bid. So, yeah, bid the minimum. When you choose a placement, when you go in and say, okay, I want CNBC traffic, they're going to do what all the ad networks do, where they say, well, Ben, you need to bid $3, or else we're not going to show your ad. Don't get suckered into that. Just take it all the way down to the lowest minimum bid, and most of the time you'll get traffic. You might have to inch it up a little bit to get in the game because it is sort of an auction-based format. But definitely start with a minimum, because if you start with their suggestions, you're going to have a rough ride. Okay, let's see here. And then low daily budget. I believe it's $10 is the minimum for a daily budget you can run in there. So just kind of start small. Again, walk before you run. Don't overwhelm yourself with this, and go from there. Another big tip on this is you can only buy mobile or desktop. If you run Google, right now that with the mobile traffic, you can, it's kind of sneaky the way you have to turn it off in Google. But in AOL, you can just disable all of it altogether. Now, their mobile traffic is terrific, but you want to separate it. You definitely want to run your desktop traffic separate from your mobile traffic. All right. Dave, you want to do mobile traffic?
Yeah, this is actually really exciting. Is Ad Sonar's mobile traffic, and I remember when mobile traffic first came out, several years ago or a couple of years ago, everyone was talking about mobile traffic. How are we going to make it work? And no one had quite figured it out yet. Some people were having a tiny bit of success, but in general, no one was making money with mobile traffic. Well, that's all changed. And the cool thing about mobile traffic, and it's probably in the last year or even 6 months, it's just getting better and better. And it's sort of like getting in to Google AdWords in like 1999 or 2000, 2001. Not a lot of people are really using it or using it successfully. They're not optimizing their websites for their mobile campaigns, or they're not separating them. So what you get, it's great because it keeps out the wannabes. You'll have people go in and they'll try a mobile campaign, but they won't separate it from their desktop campaign. So they're running all of this mobile traffic, but the people who are getting the mobile traffic, they're not seeing it. Or not seeing it right because the traffic isn't optimized for their phone, for their devices, their iPhones, their Androids, etc. So obviously the campaign doesn't work and they quit. So for those of us who take the time to separate out and have unique landing pages that are mobile optimized for our mobile campaigns, it's very, very easy to make a lot of money. Very, very low cost per click, very high quality traffic now. At first, no mobile traffic worked, and then it was only iPhone traffic worked, and then it was Android traffic worked too, and now it all works, and it works really, really well. Just like with any other traffic, you've got to test it though. So name of the game, test a little bit, test little segments at a time. Um, be careful, be smart, but mobile is in, mobile is it, and it's where you can find a ton of great traffic very inexpensively. I would, if I were a gambling man, and I am, I would bet a lot of money that 2 years from now, mobile is going to be a lot more difficult to make money with because there are going to be a lot more people in. Now is the time. Now is ground zero. It's just wide open. There's so much of it. It's not like it was before where you'd get a mobile click because somebody accidentally bumped an ad while they were playing a game on their phone. This is all good, qualified traffic. People are comfortable now purchasing on their phones. There was a paradigm shift in the last year where people became comfortable purchasing from their phones, filling out information and forms on their phones. So it's extremely, extremely valuable. Then you've got a couple specific strategies.
Yeah, and I'm gonna race through these two strategies because it's pretty self-explanatory, really. With Ad Sonar, when you go in and buy mobile traffic, really two strategies. One is you can just go in, limit all your traffic to just mobile, and then choose the websites you want to advertise on. So real simple. Like let's say you just want ESPN or Huffington Post. If you have that set to that, then they're only going to show your traffic on mobile devices. A little more pricey than the strategy number two, but there's more transparency because you know exactly where you're getting that traffic. Okay, the other strategy is just they have like run of network mobile traffic, which if you've ever bought run of network, run of network is usually synonymous with you spend a whole bunch of money and don't get any sales. I know that's happened to us a whole bunch of times, but with Ad Sonar, we found it to be different, and this was a kind of a complete surprise. Their run of network mobile traffic actually works. So you can go in, you click a button where you say, I want all run of iPhone traffic. Not really sure where it comes from. They don't tell you that, but you just have to look and say, well, is this working? A lot of it's from the AOL networks the traffic is coming from. So you can select run of iPad, run of iPhone, run of Android, and then it's just up to you, okay, is this working? The real neat thing is you don't have to spend a lot to find out whether it's working for your offer. Clicks are as low as a penny. The run of Android traffic right now is 2 pennies for a click. So yeah, so this is sort of that, not sort of, this is that magical traffic source that works on just about any offer. Dave, do you want to explain this?
Yeah, we've got a couple real nuggets here in this call that are massive, massive takeaways. And this is one of the things that we ask you not to share with other people, at least maybe only with close friends, because right now it's a gold mine and we don't want it too overpopulated. But run of Android traffic it's the magical gold mine. For whatever reason, it's converting. Again, Android traffic used to be horrible, but run of Android on the AOL network is the gold mine. We've used this with BizOp, which obviously we can't anymore as per federal court order. We're not allowed to sell, consult, or do anything pertaining to work from home or BizOp. So banned for life by the federal government from teaching people how to start a work from home business. So, but it would work for that. So it works for BizOp. It works for I got EDU offers, anything having to do with education. God, what were some of the other ones, man?
That was the neat thing, is we knew we couldn't use this for work from home. I mean, if we weren't banned by the government, then it would be one of the first things we did is just come in here and put a work from home product affiliate offer in front of this traffic, and you're going to make a whole lot of, some very, very nice returns on that. You can see this is just from one of our one campaign from one of the accounts, so you can see sort of the returns here that are possible. But we knew that this was good traffic, so we decided, well, let's try some other stuff. Let's put some other affiliate offers in front of this traffic and see if they fill it out. And sure enough, I don't know why, but this source of traffic has people that are super hyper active with filling out forms. So we tried a couple of real estate offers, they both worked. We tried a scholarship offer, like an EDU type offer, it worked. We tried probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 other CPA offers, putting those offers in front of this traffic, and it just works. I'm sure there's stuff that it doesn't work for, but so far it's kind of one of those little magical gems that just converts on just about everything you put in front of it.
And let's put this to the test for the people on the call. Let's just to kind of motivate you to take action. Let's see who can get one of these up and running, and then post on Greg's Facebook page or email Greg. Facebook page would be great. After the call tonight, or right away, or this evening, or tomorrow morning, put an offer in front of this traffic. Again, we've done the EDUs, the scholarship offers, the BizOp offers, so on and so forth. Put an offer in front of it and see if it doesn't make money. Try to find one that is a failure. No, try to find an offer that works, and let us know how it works for you, because we want to hear. We haven't found a loser yet. We want to see just see how, are we just getting lucky, or can you guys do this too? So challenge you to put up an offer in front of this run of Android traffic, and let us know how you do. Now, our average returns are 50% to 100%. So it's for every $10 we spend, we make between 15 and 20 returns. So we get our 10 back plus an additional $5 or $10. So it's basically anywhere from 1.5 to 2x return, and that's just direct linking. That's without having any landing pages or anything like that. That's just sending the traffic right to the offer. So try this, do this. Don't just get all excited about what we're sharing with you on this call and do nothing with it. Do something with it, and then let us know. Post on Greg's Facebook page. We want to see a whole bunch of people who are doing this successfully. This is just an absolute gold mine. Again, there's tons of traffic here. We don't want everyone in the world to know about it, so keep it to yourselves, but do something with it. That's so important. Try this traffic out tonight. If you're in business, you're in online marketing, you know that action creates money. Action creates results. So put it to the test. Let's see how many people we can get up there on the Facebook page in the next 5-6 hours who have done it successfully.
Awesome. Yeah, I like that. And you can add Sonar. Somebody asked what's the URL. It's advertising.com. It's the same company.
Oh, good point.
Yeah, sign up as a sponsored listing advertiser. It's advertising.com is the URL. And someone asked about banners. We actually just ran text ads. They do accept banners, but we just did text and it worked really well.
Oh, real quick too, wanted to say hi to Mike Funston. He was one of our success stories back when we were working with doing BizOp, and he's on the call. And he actually asked, did we get any of the money back when we settled? Answer is no. Despite not being found guilty and settling, they keep everything, and they took a little extra as well. So, Mike, hope you're doing well. We'll catch up to you after the call.
Okay, yeah, this is just how to set that up. Advertising.com. Choose Run of Android. You can find it in the high volume area of Ad Sonar. Start low and then inch your bids up. Pretty simple. All right, TV advertising. If you want something, this is really sort of a high level strategy. If you want something that's really high level, that's totally immune to Google slaps, you may want to be open to running TV ads. Now you might think, wait a minute, that's only for like Hollywood producers and people that have big budgets and that sort of thing. Not true. We actually found a way to do it. A super low budget, very, very, very effective TV ad, and we ran 30 to 60-second spots. It's CPM auction based, which means instead of impressions on a website, it's cost per viewer. So how much does it cost you for every 1,000 viewers? And this is a really cool thing. I mean, you can spend as little as $5 for a 60-second TV commercial spot. It's not going to be in prime time. You won't pay this and get on like The Bachelor or anything like that, for their ad spots. This is more off prime time type stuff like reality TV shows, the sort of the gurus like Nancy Grace. We got on there a lot, and you're to get on TV, you can spend as little as $500 to $400 for a spot.
We got on some pretty good shows, didn't we? Got on a lot of like true TV shows, like the pawn shows, Pawn Shop, not Pawn Stars, but the True TV's version of it. The Fit. Didn't we get on Deadliest Catch or one of those type of shows too?
Yeah, Deadliest Catch and a lot of the Coast Guard Alaska type shows.
Right. Yeah, so this is really, really exciting. It's completely outside of the box, but we did online advertising with TV commercials. So everybody thinks, yeah, so how do I get into this? My thought when we first came up with the idea was, this is going to be $100K just to start, because we're going to have a Hollywood produced video. We're going to have to negotiate with NBC and ABC to do these huge IOs and huge media buys just to see if it works. That wasn't true. We just said, you know what, let's just try this. Let's see what we can do. So we used, it was like a $1,500 camera that we had purchased at the time. Honestly, an iPhone would work just as fine. If you have an i4 or i5 or i5s, they all record in HD anyway. That would probably do just fine. So you record it. We shot it actually in my house against a blank wall, and Ben did the editing on it. Real simple, nothing too complicated, and we ran the spot on a bunch of different TV shows and networks. And the way we did it at the time, by the way, was through Google had this, AdWords gave you the ability to advertise on TV. Haven't done it in a while, haven't looked. I know that portal is shut down, but I am sure that there's a very similar portal somewhere else, some other company is doing the same thing where you're buying up, it's actually called remnant space. So you don't necessarily know where you're going to appear. You can pick the channels you want to appear on, but you don't necessarily know that you're going to get the spot. If they don't sell it, they sell it to you at next to nothing through these spots. So that's why it's so inexpensive. You're buying remnant ad space. It's because once the TV show airs, if they didn't sell that advertising spot, they get zero. So they'd rather get $5 than get zero. And most of our spots were $5, $10, $15. So yeah, we just shot that. We uploaded 30-second spot. I think the 30-second spot did best. But the important thing here too is the process. We drove inbound calls. What we did was we had put a phone number up, and a very easy to remember phone number. I forget what it was, but a very easy to remember phone number. I forget what it was, but simple phone number for them to remember. They call into a number, and I think, Ben, didn't we do where we just had them leave a recording?
Yeah, it was because we thought, oh man, we can't drive them to a website. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
You're thinking we can't drive them to a website because it's kind of like a disconnect. People are watching TV, and you have to count on them to jump online and go to a website, which it's kind of tough. If you just simply drive them to a phone number, give them a phone number to call, you're going to get a lot better response. And then the next problem was, well, what call center is gonna staff 100 people to take an inbound call that all come in at once within a 2-minute window, and then they just sit there for the rest of the night? Because your ad runs, like our biggest ads were running on Nancy Grace, that crime the crime guru, and so an ad would run, and within literally just a few minutes we'd have 200 to 300 leads would come into the funnel just from that one ad spot. So it's logistically it'd be extremely hard to put 200 people in a call center for 5 to 10 minutes worth of work. So we had to kind of get around that, and we came up with you can just do an automated step-by-step voice recording where it says leave your first name. They leave their first name. It senses when they stop talking, so it can go to the next step. And this was extremely accurate. We were like, man, this isn't really going to be accurate because we're not going to understand people. And actually, it was very, much more accurate than we ever expected. And then it was real simple. We just had all of those recordings transcribed by a freelancer the next morning. So all those leads would get put into the funnel, within a few hours.
So yeah, just another out of the thinking out of the pocket way to get traffic to your website. And all of that was done with our computers. Shoot the video with your iPhone, program it, edit, load it, upload it, edit it, upload the video to that remnant traffic through your computer. So it's basically internet advertising, but you're on TV. The bonus cool part is you get calls from friends the next day. Hey, I saw you on TV. I was watching the show and saw your commercial. What the heck? That's awesome. So it's kind of cool to get people calling and saying I saw you on TV. But another overlooked traffic source, Bing. I'm sure a lot of you are using it, but just in case you aren't, I was blown away by the number of businesses that don't use Bing in their advertising. They've got an AdWords campaign set up. They're not using Bing. A couple of quick things. I know I can picture Greg, one of our good friends, not Greg Davis, Greg Colosi. He's still to this day, he's got a small little business where he teaches people how to dry cleaning shops. He teaches dry cleaning businesses how to do a lot better and how to make more money, more profitable. And he does really well. He makes good money, but he does not have a Bing campaign. All he needs to do is literally click his mouse 3 times using the AdWords, upload your campaign from AdWords tool, and you've extended your reach by about 30%. Bing used to be pretty bad back in the day. You get a lot of junk traffic. It's high quality right now. If you just do Bing, the Bing and Yahoo search sites only, you're going to do extremely well with them. It's got about 30% of the reach that AdWords does, which doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're doing 100K a month with an AdWords campaign in profit, and you simply upload the same campaign into Bing, spend 5 minutes doing so, you're now making 130K a month, so you're making $30,000 more a month. So that works really well. Beyond that, their content network is difficult if you just jump in and try it, run it, and that's it. You have to be really careful in it. You have to use a lot of negatives, omit a lot of their sites because they do have a lot of kind of spammy click fraud sites in there. But once you've weeded through those, there's gold. And Ben, you can talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so it's Bing has their own display network, just like you get on Google, and no one ever really talks about it or thinks it's that exciting because it's not as high volume as Google. But we actually discovered a few places, few partner sites with Bing that are extremely high volume, and if you really, really kind of optimize your account, you can get volume that's comparable to Google's display network. And just as an example, with our work from home offer, we were actually spending, we had a daily budget of $2,000 in Bing, and we would hit that a lot of times before noon that day. And most of that was they have a big, partner sites with big sites like Monster.com. They used to. I'm not sure if they still have that, but there's still a ton of job sites that do really well within Bing, and it's really exciting to see that because the click cost on average is about 20 cents. It still is, and on Google's display network, we found it's sort of difficult to get clicks as cheap as 20 cents. Whereas with Bing, you're not fighting with everybody. It's a little bit more wide open, less noise, less competition, and a lot of fun once you dial it in. So the key to remember is to get this traffic, it's their syndicated search partner network and their content network. Content is a little bit more like, I guess, an example would be if your ad is inside of an article, whereas the syndicated search is other smaller search engines and classified websites and things of that nature. But in my mind, it's all kind of part of the same type of traffic, where it's not Bing or Yahoo search, but there's really a lot of it, and it's very inexpensive. That said, just as a potential landmine, there's lots of click fraud on that network. Obviously publishers who are doing some shady stuff and artificially inflating your clicks. So the key to that is you just have to track your conversions, just like any other ad source. And once you weed out all of the fraudulent clicks, sites, you've got a really, really nice campaign. So here are the landmines for Bing to watch out for. A while back, I don't know how long ago they did this, but a while back, we noticed that they had something where it's a little bit sneaky. They've got your geographic setting in there. I'm sort of geeking out right now, but this is really important. If you are running like U.S. traffic or traffic just to the U.S., you obviously only want people who are in the U.S. to see your ad and click on it. Google or Bing has this sort of sneaky default setting where they switch it on to another setting. I think it's something like, show your ad to people who are searching for pages about the U.S. And when you do that, you get a ton of traffic from other countries like India and Bangladesh and all kinds of places outside of the U.S. And if it's a U.S. offer, obviously that's just wasting your money. So make sure you turn that off. It's in the geographic settings. Just again, if you're watching this on replay, or you're going to get the replay, just remember to turn that off. And then also their devices. We found their mobile traffic just hasn't really been that good. It's a lot of app traffic, which for us at least it has not converted, so we always turn that off and just run to desktops, or at the very least separate those two campaigns. Dave, you want to do this traffic source?
Yeah, these blog ads are really, really cool. There's two websites. I don't know if you have them on the slide or not, but are they coming up, Ben?
Just this one is in here.
Or just the blog ads? Okay. There's two big players, but blogads.com is the big one. Really, really cool site for getting high volume. The key is you have to be good at writing display ads. So you can basically go to a bunch of really big sites, including like HuffingtonPost.com, which gets like 80 million viewers a month, and you can buy. It's usually impression based, so it's kind of like it's hit or miss. Not hit or miss. It's either you're good at it or you aren't. So the cool thing is if you can write a decent display ad, and it doesn't have to be fancy. It can be a 250 by 300 pixel text ad is what we did it really well with. If you can write one that catches attention, that gets people's attention, you can get clicks for a nickel a piece, high quality, high targeted clicks. Just match up. Like if you have a financial offer, you're going to want to match it up with a financial type of a blog spot or blog page, and you're buying just the display pages, and you pay per impression. So some people will do this, and if their ad doesn't get clicked on, they end up paying like $3-4 per click because they're not getting the impressions. You can write a good ad or make up a good display ad that gets clicked on, and you're like stealing from them. You're paying pennies per click for highly targeted sites. And Ben, I can't remember. I want to remember off the top. Was it the Gold and Silver Report? Was that the blog? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Daily Gold and Silver Report. That blog is absolutely amazing. Match up financial offers there, and you'll crush it. So just put your display ad for your financial offer. Direct linking. That's the other cool part. It's direct linking. Match up your financial offer with the display ad on Daily Gold and Silver Report, and it's a home run. You'll make 5-6 to 1 on your money is what we've done on that one. Not a whole lot of volume there, but man, it's just absolute crush. So that's another one that I would challenge you guys to use, is the Daily Gold and Silver Report on blogads.com. But basically, whatever the topic of the blog is, if it matches your offer, give it a shot. And typically you're buying spots. You'll buy like a display ad on the right-hand side, halfway down, 250 by 300 for $40 for several thousand impressions. So it's very inexpensive to test. What we found is when we test 6, one of them will be a winner. So test 6 different. It's going to take a little bit of money. It's not like when you're buying clicks and you can just spend $5 worth of clicks and find a winner. But buy 5 or 6 different spots, and one of them will be a home run. Free gift. So yeah, we've covered most of our content here on the call, and something else we want to give you to make sure that you're getting your value, that you're getting your $97 worth. Should you decide that you got value out of this, I hope you did. Number 1, we're going to give you sites to exclude in Bing. So we're going to send you a list of there's I don't know, 30 or 40 sites when you're running the Bing content and syndicated networks where they're they don't convert on any offers. They're basically click fraud. They're junk traffic for whatever reason. So we'll send you that. It's going to save you thousands and thousands of dollars of testing. Extraordinarily valuable right there. That's yours, free. Something that I'm really excited about is we're sending you an email template kit where we're taking, and this is for two people. Basically, it's for everybody. It's for people who aren't emailing their leads that they're getting. So if you're sending traffic to an offer, you need to be grabbing that data, grabbing that email address and first name. If you are currently mailing to it, well, we've got our best email templates that work to convert the traffic best. And if you're not emailing, this is the perfect opportunity to do so because these emails are already written for you. You just plug in the name of your offer in a couple different spots. But very, very simple. 3 emails. There's 3 templates. It's plug and play. You plug in the offer and XYZ, whatever the problem is. It's real simple. Along with those emails, if you're already emailing, we've got our 3 best ever subject lines. Now, Ben and I have sent many as 3 million emails per month for the past 7-8 years. So we've split tested tens of millions, hundreds of millions of, use hundreds of millions worth of emails to split test different subject lines. These are the 3 top performing ones that we have. In my opinion, these 3 subject lines alone are worth, we should be able to sell these for thousands and thousands of dollars, but we're giving those to you for free. So really cool thing. Hope you use them. If you are emailing, they are amazing. They are killer. So that's for you. Ben, was there anything else we were doing?
Yeah, so we've got the traffic source. If you have a good CPA offer, it's the run of Android traffic source, which you can find in AdSonar. That's at advertising.com. Grab one of your affiliate offers. If you have an offer that's like a 4-field or a 5-field or 6-field submit, something like that is terrific. Again, it worked for us in real estate, EDU, scholarship, anything like that. You can grab it, put it in front of that traffic. You're going to pay 2 cents a click, just 2 cents a click to get started in that. It does take a little while to get your account approved with advertising.com. It's not instant like Microsoft. You may have to wait a couple hours, but if you go and sign up, grab your account, then you can get that going. Blog ads, if you have any sort of a financial offer, make sure you grab a spot on the daily gold and silver report. I think it's called something like Harvey Organ's Daily Silver and Gold Report. It's just run by this guy that has a blog. The traffic there was just phenomenal. If you're buying traffic and you have those little pockets that convert like crazy, where you're getting 5 times or 6 times your money, and you're always saying to yourself, oh, if I could just get more of this stuff, then I'd be really, really doing well. Then this is that type of traffic which you can add to your portfolio. So. And then we've got the list of click fraud sites and Bing. So it's going to save you a ton of money, a ton of time, a ton of frustration, where you can just exclude this garbage from the get-go and not waste any money, not even a penny on it. That's from us running, 6 figures plus, well into the 6 figures worth of traffic on Bing's content network. So we've seen all the stuff that does not work. We can give that to you. And then the email templates with subject lines. So 4 free killer gifts right there. I think that does it.
Yeah. Greg, you there?
Yeah. What about the UPS girl? Can she be is she a free gift too?
if you We can't promise that she will be hand delivering the email templates. If we could, this would be a $9,000 seminar, not a.
Oh man, no, that's excellent. I actually did have a question myself for you guys.
Sure.
for the TV stuff that you were doing, like, was that for your own product or was that for an affiliate product?
That was for our own product.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any way that you can that it can work with an affiliate product?
I
Oh,
think
that's
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah.
Because we would spend, like, on a high volume spot, we'd spend between $300 and $400 for between 300 leads. So if you do the math on that, a lead was under $2, and those were all direct inbound phone calls.
Oh,
So if you have, a pay-per-call offer, then it was a lot. It was a little bit easier when Google had its platform, because you could pick and choose TV shows just like you pick and choose keywords,
mm-hmm.
which made it really convenient and easy to do. But again, we're certain that you can. What's cool about it is once you have a spot that's working and it's working, then there's not really any Google like TV slaps, like TV commercial slaps. I've never really heard of that.
Yeah. They don't mind your money. They'll take your money gladly.
You've got a killer question. Someone at Jasper asked, could that TV commercial platform work for something like pay-per-call? I really wish I would have thought of that before. It would a lot easier than doing the whole transcribing and calling this number. And yeah, I think that's brilliant.
That's a good idea. Wow.
That's absolutely brilliant. So yeah, let's kind of include that as our content here. Yeah, we're probably going to go tomorrow and test that. Run the TV commercial ads and just put up your pay-per-call number. That's brilliant. I love that.
Also, you said you guys said you set up some type of like automated voicemail thing to handle the calls. Like where'd you get that done, or did you do it from scratch?
Freedom Voice, I think, right, Ben?
Freedom Voice, yeah. I forget the name of it, but that's the company that we use. Like, they've got different services you can buy, and I can't remember what they call that, but
okay, no problem.
Yeah, and they actually have, I think they have decent phone or customer service support or via email, so they're just ask them, they'll set you up. They're very inexpensive too.
Well, getting back to the FTC stuff real quick. I mean, so it basically sounds like the main issue to deal with is customer service. I mean, is that the main downfall? Like
yep,
customer service.
That's what got us into trouble. Was we got on their radar because Prosper was not handling customer service for our customers. So and it didn't matter that Prosper was the one selling it. We affiliated or associated ourselves with a company that wasn't doing right by the customers, so we got in trouble. So yeah, that's very important. We could, Ben, do you have our TV commercial spot there just to show people, just for fun?
Yeah, does anyone want to see this? See the TV commercial?
Let's just show it, because I think people like just to see how cheesy and simple it was.
Right.
Let's show them. So you don't have to go crazy with this. We just put something up and did it. So yeah, just take a quick look. Because we want to kind of emphasize to you guys today on the call is just action always beats inaction. We tried this. We didn't know if it would work. You can see we're standing in, it's actually my living room up against the blank wall. Took a painting down, and this was our ad for our work from home product. So yeah, go ahead and click play.
How would your life right now be different if you could earn a full-time living from the comfort of your own home computer or laptop? Hi, Dave LeBeau and Ben Moskal here. We want to share with you an amazing discovery that we made in the last few years on the internet. We discovered a very simple way to earn a full-time income while working in the comfort of your own home. Companies you have heard of, like American Express, Amazon.com, and more than 2,000 more companies will pay you money on the internet. We're ready to share our exact system with you. All you have to do is call and claim your free CD. To claim your free CD, call 1-800-245-3939. Once again, 1-800-245-3939. Call right now. We have a very limited quantity of CDs that we're giving out, so call right now, 1-800-245-3939.
Okay, a couple cool things to point out. That's pretty embarrassing to show, I guess. A couple neat things to point out. Obviously, you've got just us there talking directly to you. Very animated and excited. Excitement sells, okay? And this doesn't just apply to a TV commercial. When you're selling on your line, online, your copy needs to be exciting. Another takeaway from the commercial is it's us talking, giving you a very direct, simple message. Bottom left-hand side, here's what you're going to get, the free CD. Bottom right-hand side, big numbers, the phone number, the call to action. And we repeated that phone number, I think, 4, 5, 6 times. So that was important. Same thing with a text ad or with an online ad, or web page or landing page. Another important thing, video sells. You can shoot a video like that and put it on a lander. I can't tell you how many times we've done that. Like to promote an antivirus software. I remember once I had a virus. This is back before I used Macs. I was using a PC. I had a virus on my PC. Trying to get it fixed. Spent like hours trying to figure it out. Couldn't. Finally found a web software company, free download. It worked. I was like, this is awesome. The computer's back to normal, 3 times faster than it was. It took me 20 minutes for them to run their stuff and clean it up. So I'm like, wait, if I had this problem and I was frustrated, other people are too. Ran it, grabbed my camera, shot a cell phone or flip cam at that time, back when those were popular. Shot a quick little 2-minute homemade infomercial saying, look, I had this problem. Here's the solution. Download this free software. And put that up on a web page with maybe 3 to 5 sentences worth of copy, and I was doing 3 to 1 or 4 to 1 return on that offer. So video is very, very powerful. Most people are too lazy to take the time to do it, but we still to this day use video on offer pages. If we're not direct linking, if we're running an offer and we're building out a page, almost always have video on it, and it doesn't have to be high tech. And in many cases, you're better off being low tech, using a cell phone and shooting it at your house, because then it doesn't look all Hollywood and all glam and all staged and all made up. You look like someone who truly is recommending a product that you like and that you use and that you feel good about. So very, very powerful little tip there is use videos on your landing page and just try it. It's the same thing with writing copy. You can write an ad and it works or it doesn't work. Shoot a video, put it up, it works or it doesn't work. Key is be honest, be real, be excited, and be passionate. That's what sells. That's what gets people. That's what draws people in, and that's what works.
There's a couple of questions about the site to get to the TV commercial access, and the platform we used was actually through Google TV. Recently, they took that down, unfortunately. Before it was just a platform, like I guess an ad network that syndicated the TV shows. So you can't, obviously TV is not working, but there are sort of other advertising platforms. If you just do a Google search, you'll find different ones. The key is you want to, a lot of them are sort of brokers for TV spots. Actually, before we used Google TV, we just went to the local TV provider, like the local cable provider, and bought ads directly through them. But if they know you're new to it, they'll try to take advantage of you, and basically whatever they'll give you like a rate card, and whatever the rate card they give you is, you can pretty much ignore it for the most part. You'll want to be purchasing their remnant ads. Some of them will even offer like a CPA deal. A lot of them won't, but if you can negotiate that, then that's terrific, where you only pay per CPA. So in essence, you become like the affiliate network, and you have no risk, where you only pay for a certain CPA, like a phone call. One of the affiliate partners we had in the law firm space did that effectively, where they would say to the TV and radio provider, they would say, well guys, here's our service, here's our ad, and we are only going to pay when you drive a phone call into our company. So it's your job to figure out which TV shows and which spots to place this on, and so essentially there's zero risk if you know how much you can pay for an inbound call. So I would start there by, it's a little bit more legwork. Unfortunately, it's not quite as easy as it used to be. There may be some providers out there that make it as easy as it was with Google TV, but unfortunately they don't have that anymore. But principles are all the same, regardless of where you're buying your TV spot. It's all going to be on a make sure to use a phone number. Lots of excitement. Make it very, very clear as far as what you want people to do. In the commercial we had, you'll see we use both audio and visuals to give the phone number, which is really important because you've got people who may not be watching TV. They may be doing something else, like in the other room. They hear the number, or they may have the sound off or sound too low, but they can see the number. So you really give them an opportunity to respond. People are asking about advertising.com. It's you want to be a sponsored listings advertiser. So you want to be an advertiser, sponsored listings.
Greg, are there any questions coming through on your Facebook page that we're missing?
Let me check. I'll just put a post out here.
Someone asked if we have any good sources for international mobile. No, not yet, but it's something we're actually looking into as some colleagues who are doing really well with international offers. So we will get back to you on that one. Right now, no. I can tell you, though, that the Latin America markets are doing really well. Shoot, there was another place that he talked about, too. But that was the main one, like Brazil.
Greg, you've run an ad sonar. Has your experience been similar to what we had?
Yeah. I mean, I've never done the mobile. I haven't done the mobile yet. But so I'm definitely gonna jump into there. But just in general, yeah. I mean, I've been advertising with them, man, just for years. I mean, I would say like since 2008 or so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, just everything you said. You have such a wide variety of different sites that you can get on. Traffic volume is really good. And the CPCs are pretty good too. I mean, and I just want to echo what you had said. Like just because like you'll see some of these sites like their minimum bids. I mean, not the minimum bids, but like they'll say the winning bid or whatever is like $3 or $4 or $5, something like that. Don't even worry about that. Just I normally start all mine like as at a penny above the minimum. And then you'll get traffic there and then kind of go up from there. Then once you have some placements where, they're more profitable for you, then absolutely you can, raise your bid so you can get more traffic. But you can get, like you said, I mean, you can get down to penny clicks on some of those sites. And the other thing too that I've done, I mean, they don't always let you do this, but once you have a good history of data with your sponsored links, you can go to advertising.com and just do a IO media buy. And they always want to give you like run a network, but sometimes you can get them to actually put you on some of the sites that you already know work for your offer. So that's kind of like a good next step up. Like once you have, because they have the little image ads and stuff now too. So once you have an image and your text ad that works, then you can make that into a banner, and then you can take it to the next step and do a media buy with advertising.com.
Right.
Okay, and Greg, you're suggesting to do that once you've got an offer that's working really well. You're just not getting enough volume with it, so then you can just do a direct IO and get a ton of volume.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
And like when you first do a deal with them, like they're just going to set you up and run it. I mean, at least that's how they try to do most affiliates that I've talked to, including me. But you can bargain with them. You can tell them like, look, these particular sites on your network did really, really well for me. So I want these to be included. Because it's a blind network, so they don't tell you like exactly what sites they're putting your the same exact placements where your ads are going to be, unlike the self serve. You know. But yeah, absolutely, that's exactly what you do. I mean, because it converts on that traffic, especially if you have something that converts widely across several different sites on the network. Then yeah, that's probably a pretty good candidate. Um, for something that'll work well on advertising.com. So just people understand, like you have the advertising.com sponsor links, which is ad sonar, and that's all self serve. Okay, and just like you put in money. It's like I said, I think Ben said it was the minimum was like $100. You set up the campaign yourself and everything. So they have that, but then they also have an actual, I guess like banner ad network, which is advertising.com. And then there, you have an insertion order, and you have, you're probably gonna need a ad server, stuff like that. Well, you don't have to have an ad server, but that's where you kind of get into a more managed by. So that's the path that I've taken, and not it doesn't always work. I mean, it doesn't always work as far as making the transition from sponsored links to the banners, but a lot of times it does. All right, we don't have any questions on Facebook. Anybody else have any more questions on the webinar? Now is your chance. These guys got a lot of knowledge. When is the replay? It'll probably be out by either tonight or tomorrow morning. I don't know. We'll get it rendered and stuff. Can we place phone numbers into these ads to drive inbound calls in the banners or text ads and ad sonar? That's a good question. Have you guys ever tried to put a phone number on ad sonar?
Yes, I've done that. Yep.
Okay.
You can do that.
Cool. I've never done that.
Good question.
I tried Garcinia on advertising.com, but they don't like advertorial. It's very difficult. Actually, I do run Garcinia on advertising.com. You just have to, like they're going to run it through their legal department. And so like they're going to tell you you're gonna have to have your advertorial like exactly like they want you like they want it, but you can use an advertorial. I mean, you just can't like you can't have all the stuff like you can't have like the geo targeting thing, for instance, where it's saying the user city. You can't make any like super wild claims. You can't be using Dr. Oz and stuff like that. Like they, you can still. It's not going to be like a regular advertorial that you might be at a cloak or something like that, but you can absolutely run an advertorial. Especially if it's a straight sale, like they do allow some risk-free trials, but they're a lot more restrictive for those. But if it's a straight sale and you have a quote-unquote compliant advertorial, I mean, it's fine.
Someone asked, how do I see, oh shoot, where is it? Okay, they asked, how do I check if someone is logging into your Gmail? You just, in your Gmail account, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and on the right-hand side, it says, last account activity 0 minutes ago, open in one other location, and you click details. It's in real light gray, small font, hard to see. That right there, it'll show you, pop up all the different IP addresses that have access to your Gmail account in the last, or recently, like the last day or so. And yep, I've just checked mine. We've got Florida and New York, so that's me and Ben. That's nobody from Washington, D.C., so we're in good shape right now. Of course, we have negative hundreds of thousands of dollars right now, so I don't think that they're that interested in us.
They've already sucked you dry, huh?
We're building back up.
I know you guys will be back in no time. You guys will probably be back twice as good as you were before.
Oh yeah, no. Things are looking very, very, very good. So lots of good things going on.
All right, so did we get all these questions? So
Yeah, Greg, it seems like there's a little confusion on AdSonar, which I understand now that I just went to their website and there's like a million things you can sign up for.
Uh,
What you want is the sponsored listings. So yeah, just choose advertiser, then sponsored listings.
Here, I have a link that they can use. I think this will get them right to where they need to be. Here, I'll post it here. Uh,
Someone else, Rich asked, Ben and Dave, do you guys offer any of your programs we ran a couple of years ago? Um, no, we're banned for life by the federal government from doing that. We would love to, though.
which is a shame, man, because it was a really good program, and you guys had a lot of successful students.
Oh, we had tons.
You guys
One of
had
my favorite.
people that were students of mine that went over and did your thing and were successful. So I mean,
Yeah, one of my favorites was a girl named Laura who was like fresh out of college. She and her husband had just got married. He was working in construction, and she, right out of college, didn't have a real job yet, and started, bought our program, followed it, and pretty quickly was making. We talked to her once; it was 4,000 a month, and then 6,000, and I think she was pushing 9,000 a month. Just doing exactly what we said, running some real simple offers, just trial and error, testing and testing, and she's doing really well with that. The cool thing is she had immigrated from Colombia 10 years ago. English wasn't even her first language. So English was her second language. She spoke, wonderfully clear English, but it's pretty impressive. If someone who's not a native English speaker originally can do it, it's clearly not too difficult.
Yeah, the other neat story is Justin. When we met Justin, we used to do workshops in our office, and Justin came for a 2-day workshop, and at the time he was either 19 or 20, and was at sophomore in college, and within about, I don't know, 6 months or so, he had had some success. The following year, 1 year time, he cleared $100,000 net, and I just talked to him the other day. He's now doing 15,000 net after all expenses with online marketing, and he just turned 22 maybe, or 21. I know he just was able to start drinking legally as of recently. So
no, it's legally the operative word. Hey guys, did anything ever happen to Prosper?
This is perhaps maybe the most interesting part of the story. The kind of like the lead generator, the ERSPA, and they're also known as the NARC or NARC.
Mm-hmm.
And when they came to us, they looked at all of our stuff, and I mean, we were on conference calls with these guys. These are lawyers. There are 2 lawyers there. We're on conference calls with these guys, every week or two for a while, and they're going through all of our stuff and saying, "Man, you have a lot of consumer success. This is really cool, and you may just want to change the language here and there because this is kind of gray area. So just change your language. You guys are good." And so we did that, and they are the ones that referred us to the FTC because we sent them 7 bankers boxes worth of substantiation, which included every affiliate check I've ever earned, because we told our story of, hey, look, we're successful. This is really cool. You should try affiliate marketing. And so I actually kept good records. And I had every affiliate check I've ever earned, every bank wire I've ever earned from affiliate companies. We put that along with all the customer testimonials. We have written testimonials. Basically everything to substantiate all of our advertising, and we sent that to them. And little do we know is that was just their way of building the case against us, because a lot of that material actually ended up in the evidence against us in the court case. And what we learned is what happened with Prosper is we let them know. We said, look, we're running our offer here, but we're not doing the same volume that Prosper is. Prosper is doing a lot more volume than we are. Same exact offer, same exact advertising. And we thought it was really strange that Prosper didn't get sued. We actually we had lunch with the owners of Prosper, and they told us, they said, yeah, we talked to the NARC, the NARC, and we made a good faith donation to their company for $150,000. This was several months before the lawsuit. So if you kind of connect the dots there, they made a donation to the regulatory agency that refers cases to the FTC. Our name got put on the lawsuit, and Prosper, pretty much escaped without anything. So interesting,
wow.
the way the world really works.
That's crazy. That is nuts. Wow. And you guys know who else Prosper was going to do a VisOp offer with, don't you?
What's that?
They were going to do it with me.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it was a home income rock star.
Oh man.
Yeah. I'm glad it didn't work
Aren't you
out.
glad that fell through?
Oh, am I ever? Oh boy. Yeah, man, that's dirty. So I guess you just, you can kind of pay them off in advance and then kind of slide through. But hey, I guess Prosper knows the game. I'm sure this wasn't the first time.
Yeah, I
Right.
mean, good for them, I guess. I don't know.
That sucks. Oh well, karma. Karma's a bitch.
A couple other cool questions. David asked, how does the FTC suit affect credit rating? Doesn't actually show up on a credit report or anything, but all of your late mortgage payments and overdue credit card bills do when the government takes every single penny that you have. So it does wreck your credit in that respect. Another question, Edward asked, what's the FTC risk if you are marketing outside the U.S.? Good question. Risk is zero. If you're selling products outside the U.S., FTC doesn't care. That's, you can sell in countries that have never heard of the FTC. So it's, as far as I understand from a colleague, the FTC only protects American citizens. Protects, I use very, very loosely. Do you know if you can do retargeting to mobile? Yeah, we can do, or mobile landing. Yeah, you can retarget for any landing page. Sorry, can you do retargeting to mobile landing pages? The answer is yes. Oh, someone asked, where do we report the results of the test campaign for the Android Run of Network? Just post that on Greg's Facebook page, right, Greg?
Yeah. You can put it in the group, Facebook group. Yeah, I got a message. Yes, a couple of people have already started campaigns.
Wow.
Nice.
They're
Nice.
waiting for them to get approved. Waiting for them to get approved.
That's awesome.
So,
Someone else asked, are we going to do a workshop in the near future? Actually, we do private consulting. We'll talk about that in just a minute as soon as we're done with the rest of the call here. Is Greg going to share a secret traffic source? We did. That was a Run of Network Android traffic.
Where do we find Run of Android traffic? Can't find it in advertising.com. If you click on the high volume placements, you should see it as one of the top choices. So high volume placement. John says pay off feds in advance. Got it.
Pretty much. Man.
If I am from Latham, but I run U.S. offers, I have to be compliant with FTC. Yes. They do go after people. If your offers are run in the U.S., they will go after you.
All right, did we get all the questions? Oh, here's a good one. Does ads sold on our recheck landing pages for bait and switch? Yes, they do. So I would not do that. Just get whatever page you want approved and run that one, because they definitely will go back and check. Excuse me. Trust me on that one. How do you track your ad sonar ads? I use CPV Lab, pretty much how I track everything. However, if you're doing the mobile, then you might want to use well, CPV Lab. Actually, they do have the mobile extension now, or you can also use something like iMobi Tracks, but I don't even think that's necessary. All right, looks like we got most of the questions answered here. Guys, everybody on the webinar, I want to thank you guys for being on. Hopefully, I mean, I know this has been very eye opening for me. My wife just sent me a Skype saying that we have to talk ASAP after this because she was listening. She was listening too, and so she wants some stuff that we need to do. So again, this is really important. I mean, this stuff really happens. I mean, like you don't understand. Like me and these guys were hanging out at shows and drinking and you know just having fun, making a lot of money and stuff. And next thing you know, bam, so. This is real. Okay, so take it seriously. If you're doing business, and not just even if you have, and a lot of people have done a lot of business in the U.S. and then they've kind of switched and gone off, gone international. But the bad thing about the government is that they have long memories. They'll go back to stuff that you did a long time ago. So still, definitely take these precautions, into play, because I know some other people that. I mean, like they maybe like 3-4 years later, and then they got sued for something that they were doing, years prior. So it doesn't really matter to the government. So just take those proper precautions. Stay on top of the customer service, and also that kind of leads to representing offers that have good customer service as well. So definitely take those texts up to account. So is everybody cool? Is everybody good with what we had so far? Everybody happy? Did you get money's worth? So yes, 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 yes. All right. Well, in the unlikely event that you weren't totally satisfied, you can send an email to Greg Sucks at superaffiliaterockstar.com. That's GREGSUCKS at superaffiliaterockstar.com and just say something like, don't charge me or something like that. Actually, in the subject line, just put in all caps, do not charge. And then we can see that easily and get cancel the charge. All right, Greg Sucks at superaffiliaterockstar.com. So now that you guys have seen all of that, and you've seen, just a taste of what Ben and Dave know, and how they, can help you. Is it okay if they kind of show you something that if you want to take it to the next level, take about just 5 or 10 minutes to kind of give you an opportunity for those people who want to take it to the next level? I'm seeing yeses, 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 yes, yes. All right, Ben and Dave, you can let them know what the next level is.
Okay, sure. Yeah, we weren't even going to bring this up, but we wanted to present everything we did, and hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully you got a lot out of it. And again, I always implore people whenever we share information with fellow entrepreneurs, jump on it, act on it now while you're excited. It's the best time to do it. Best time, and just take action on it. Just one of the things we shared with you, and you're going to put money in your bank account. Let's see. Okay, so Ben, did you have a slideshow up or?
Yeah, can you?
Private consult. There it is. Sorry. Yeah, I had the old slideshow up or on my computer separately, but yeah. So private consulting, it's pretty amazing. When we got sued by the Federal Trade Commission, you think that you're going to become a pariah and have the equivalent of internet herpes or internet AIDS, and nobody will want to talk to you. But turns out, being sued by the FTC, you get a lot of people calling and saying, "Hey, you are doing enough business and making enough money to catch the Fed's attention. So could you help me? Could you consult me? Could you work with my funnel?" So we do get a lot of requests to do private consulting. In fact, we've got a company flying us out next week to Utah to work with their sales funnel. They want us to just run through the whole thing, see where we can add traffic, we're going to do a remarketing campaign for them. We're going to add a couple email autoresponder systems for them. And that's what we've been doing recently with different businesses. So Private consulting includes, if you're interested, and by the way, this is just if you've got a sales funnel, if you're a newbie and you don't have anything up and running, you don't have a business running, you don't have a good marketing funnel, this consulting isn't for you. I just don't mean to, not trying to offend you, but this is for people who have something in place already. Actually, because legally we can't build a business for you. We can't do work that technically would be considered work from home. So we can only work with people who have a business already. So what we do is we come in and we'll work with your sales funnel. If you already have one, we got, again, sending 3 million emails plus a month. We know how to send email. We know how to write the copy that works. We know how to write the subject lines that work. Little things, like even if we go through your email campaign and change subject lines, we can do 3 to 4 times better open rate, and that carries through to 3 to 4 times better sales just with subject lines. Very, very powerful stuff. So in any case, what we do with the consulting, typically we'll fly out to your office. If you like, we can do it over the phone, but we'd like to get out, meet you in person, spend the day with you. And then that gives us our basis to do all of our work. So during that day, we gather information about your sales funnel. We build a done-for-you campaign, okay? So we're going to build out a mobile marketing campaign just for your sales funnel, for your product. A remarketing campaign, we do all that. Again, we gather all the information the day that we meet together, and then it takes us about a week to implement this, to do it right. Next slide there, Ben. Complete email follow-up campaign. Again, that's super important. So many people don't do that. Ad copy is very important. Meet in person for a day, implement the following week, and then we do weekly follow-up calls, and we're logging in and checking to make sure that everything's working and doing what it should. Again, to qualify, you can't be promoting any work from home offers. Sorry, we can't help you with that. You got to have an existing business. We have 2 spots. Like I said, we're kind of booked pretty full through June. So we've got a couple spots we can fit in to do this in the next, within May or, in the immediate future here. So 2 people that qualify, that's who we're going to end up working with. And it'll be first come, first serve. And next slide. Is that it on the slides, Ben?
That's it on the slides, yep.
Okay. So what do we charge for this? That's, of course, the big important question. Separately, piece by piece, right now, what we're doing when we're working with companies, we're charging around, to do an email campaign with somebody, charging anywhere from $10,000 to $12,000 for that, depending on the campaign. If we're doing a mobile marketing campaign, those can run $15,000 to $20,000. Remarketing campaign, $15,000 to $20,000. Again, the emails, it goes north from there too. And so just to do like a day of consulting with someone, if we're flying out and sitting with you for the day and traveling and doing all that, that's typically a $15,000 day. So we could easily be charging, and again, we're running through everything for you. Everything that we learn that we know, we are doing for you. You can use the information we shared with you to do this yourself and test it yourself and figure it out yourself. This is for people who just want to hire someone to come in and do it for them. Could easily be charging $100,000 north for this. We could be charging $50,000 for it. As a courtesy to Greg, he asked us to just do it for $15,000. So it's the first 2 spots. Again, we're booked with everything that we just talked about at the prices we just talked about. We can fit 2 spots in. It's $15,000. What we need is a deposit of just $1,000 first. We need to interview you and make sure that we can help you. If we talk to you and look at your web pages and look at your funnel and hear about what you do, and it's not a good fit, and there's nothing we can do, then obviously we just refund your deposit. We don't move forward there. But first 2 people to make the deposit and then go through the quick little interview, like 30 minutes or so. If it works, we'll sign you up. We'll be out at your office and we'll build your campaigns. We'll build your mobile campaign, your marketing campaign. This is really cool. Again, that's where you go to Zappos.com and you move away, you go to a different website and you still see ads for Zappos.com. Those are working really, really well right now. Mobile, that's what we're the most excited about because it's like the new frontier. So we've been having a lot of success with businesses doing their mobile campaigns because most people aren't doing it. Like Greg said, he hasn't used the mobile yet. So, in any case, what was the URL, Greg?
Sorry, it was muted.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I had muted. It was a superaffiliaterockstar.com/FTC.
Okay, cool. So yeah, superaffiliaterockstar.com/FTC, again, Federal Trade Commission. Superaffiliaterockstar.com/FTC. Again, we've got 2 spots. We are booked. Next week is Utah. Following week, I have to look at my calendar, but it's really exciting for us because we get to share. It's kind of a new thing that we've gotten because of the FTC. It's kind of given us the credibility, like, oh, hey, these guys really do know what they're doing. Look how much money they were generating. The FTC sued them for $2.9 million. So it's really cool to be able to just work with other companies. And it's like when you're doing something yourself and you're doing well, it's fun. But when you can come into someone else, sit with them for a day, spend a week diving in, implementing, and then they see the results. And it's super, super powerful. So many businesses nowadays, so many companies, they think they've got a great funnel, and they do, and they're doing well with it, but they're missing really, really low-hanging fruit. For example, they're not utilizing an autoresponder system, they're not using emails, they're not going after, they're not remarketing. They're missing that entire mobile traffic market. They're not using AdSonar, they're not using advertising.com. They're not using videos. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you. One particular offer we were running that was our own offer, our own product, we added a video to the shopping cart checkout page. Instantly, a 1-minute and 30-second video increased our conversion rate by 30%. 30% growth with one video. And this is what we're doing for businesses. We're recording teleseminars for them. We're recording videos for them to increase their conversion rate. So super, super powerful stuff. We do all of this for you. And it's, again, we'll get you in. We have a couple spots between now and the end of May / early June that we can fit in and dedicate directly to your business and get all of this set up for you. Again, to qualify, you need an existing business. You cannot be selling work from home or BizOp. We cannot legally help you with that. And yeah, so if you're interested, just go to affiliaterockstar.com/FTC. Just make that deposit. And again, if we talk to you and you don't like it, you're us, it's not a good fit for you, or if we see, can't really help you here, then refund your money right away. No big deal. But that's 2 spots available. First 2 get them. Hopefully, if it's a good fit for you, love to work with you. Ben, would you like to add to that?
Yeah, I just want to talk about each of these pieces, each of these components, because each component itself can they say tiny hinges swing big doors, and so if you have a business running right now, and I'll give you some examples from clients that we're working with now. We've got one client that's in the automotive niche. They actually don't sell cars; they sell something else related to that. But a customer's worth about $3,000, and they were not doing really any sort of email marketing at all. They had, tested it a few times with a few messages, but they got no results. We wrote a 30-day autoresponder series, plugged it in, and we sent it to a list that they have, just a kind of like a cold list that had been sitting in their database for who knows how long. We sent the email out. Within about 48 hours, they had 102 inbound phone calls from that old database, and a lot of those were buyers. And it's a $3,000 product. They really had just been doing everything over the phone. So they took that, and they were like just absolutely blown away, and now it's part of their funnel, so that every single lead that comes in gets on that autoresponder series. Their sales guys are thrilled because their sales guys used to have to get on and answer tons of questions and prove their credibility, and it was like this huge uphill battle. they've got a sales team of just 3 people, and each sales guy was spending, you know, tons and tons of time on the phone educating the customer and sort of trying to get them to sign up. The emails are doing all of the work for them. Their sales guys are like, what's going on? Because now they answer inbound phone calls, and it's pretty much just like, hey, I want to sign up. How do I place my order? You know, what's the next step? So it's way more efficient. It's a machine that's in place now, and this is really where kind of our bread and butter was in crafting the email campaigns to do all your work for you. So if you have a business that's similar to that, where you can kind of relate to either, you know, doing an outbound call or taking an inbound call where you have to go through all the steps and just to find out, okay, is this customer really a good fit for my business? You'll relate to an email campaign like that just does, you know, 80 to 90% of the work for you, and you sit back, people call you, they're ready to purchase, they're ready to buy, they're ready to sign up. That's the power of the email campaign. It took us a real long time, you know, with our own business to get that right, to craft the right emails, the right messages, all kinds of little nuances that if you get wrong, your email campaign is going to completely bomb. Just for example, if you write an email where you don't hit the space bar after like 55 or 60 characters and the email stretches across the screen, no one's going to read that. It's like it's too hard on your eyes, and they just delete it. So you don't, things like that. If you get wrong, you're not going to know. Okay, well, I don't know if my email copy is good or not because no one read it. Remarketing. I'll tell you a quick story about a client we have in the real estate niche. He sells an info product. He's doing about $100,000 a month gross. It's all on rebill, so it's all a digital product. We're helping with his Google campaign. The very first thing that we did is we set up remarketing campaigns. He didn't have any remarketing, and of course, as you know, this is the second, your chance to get the second bite at the apple. And with as much traffic as he was buying, people would come through the site. He's already paid for the click. They leave, and that's it. They're never coming back. With remarketing, almost immediately he was getting extra sales, extra 8 to 10 sales a day with a simple remarketing campaign he would not have had otherwise. And customers worth an average of $50 to $70 on the front end. So right there, he's added $15,000 to his bottom line with a simple remarketing campaign, and that's it can really, I think we could do better with it than the simple one we set up. So those are just some of the pieces. If you have a business, something that's already running, but chances are you spend most of your day with your hair on fire. I know that's what it's like when you're kind of running the show. You wear all the hats of running a business, and you're working in your business instead of on your business. Well, that's what we're for, is we can work on your business and improve the marketing funnels and put things into place so that you don't have the headache of figuring out remarketing. Well, where does the pixel go, and how do I set up a email funnel, and when should I mail, and all that. It's done for you. These things are done for you. We've seen lots of different businesses, so I think we can write some aggressive type copy that you're comfortable with. Dave, do you want to talk about Old Man Brinkley?
Oh, yeah, this is really cool. This is something that we use in the right spot with most businesses when we build out their autoresponder campaigns. It's touchy. It's not something that you can necessarily use in every situation, but sometimes it works. There's a guy, Dr. Brinkley, who I think it was 80, 90 years ago. He would send direct mail, so it's online marketing, but direct mail was the equivalent of online marketing 80, 90 years ago. Because he did goat testicle surgery, where he would, guys who were having erectile dysfunction, ED, couldn't get it up, he would perform a surgical operation where he would remove their testicles and put goat testicles in the place of their testicles. I'm not exaggerating any of this. This is exactly what he did. The people claimed, I think it was like a placebo effect because they claimed to get good results from it. He made like $1 million a year 90 years ago doing this. He advertised on the radio when the radio came out, and forget whatever the regulatory agency is for them, that they actually banned him from advertising on the radio. And so he built his own radio tower, this gigantic radio tower, and kept advertising his goat testicle cure for erectile dysfunction via his own radio station. So as regarding the ethics or morals of that, think what you want or what you will, but the guy was clearly a successful marketer. He had a series when people would inquire, hey, I'm interested in your goat testicle surgery. He had a series of 3 letters that he would then send every week saying, hey, you're not interested, or I thought you were interested. I didn't hear back from you. Are you interested? And they would get successively a little bit more sort of direct or angry or, come on, I need to hear from you or I'm going to cut all ties with you. And I basically found those letters, and we changed them, kind of tweaked them just a little bit. We'll tweak them for different campaigns and different businesses so that they fit modern day, and we use them as emails in an email autoresponder. Those are, if there's any magical series of 3 emails, it's those 3 emails that we took from 80 years ago that worked excessively well for goat testicle surgery, and we tweaked them with our modern knowledge of copy and email and use them for businesses doing that. Unbelievable. And these aren't things that we can just give to people because you'll actually get, they're very aggressive emails. If you write them yourself and aren't careful, you're going to get blocked from sending email because you'll get a lot of spam complaints. They're not offensive or anything like that. They're enough to trigger people. But anyway, very, very powerful.
All right, sounds good, guys. So, hey, like you said, it's not for everybody, but if that sounds like it's for you, definitely go over to superfillerrockstar.com/FTC, make the $1,000 deposit, and then you'll have an interview from there. And then, if it's a fit, then you guys will work together. But, again, I've known these guys for a while, and as you can see, I mean, they know what they're talking about. They know what they're doing. That's because they've done it. All right, this is not like theory for them. They've done this stuff, and they are very good at sales and conversion. So that being said, Ben and Dave, I'd like to thank you guys for being on and sharing your story with us. Really appreciate that.
Oh, thanks for having us, Greg. And I know you've been patting our backs a lot. We obviously, you know this, but I don't know if your list does. We've learned a tremendous amount from you over the years. So if you're on Greg's list and you're listening to his stuff and reading his information, he's the man. He has easily put hundreds of thousands of dollars into our bank accounts, which the FTC thanks him for.
Those fuckers.
Direct attribute hundreds of thousands of dollars to Greg Davis. There's no question about that. So.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. And all right, guys, on the webinar, I appreciate you guys being on here. Thanks for your time. Like I said, the replay should be out. If not tonight, it should be out by tonight, but worst case scenario, definitely tomorrow morning. So you guys will have that. Hey, that's it. Hopefully you guys implement on this stuff, take into account. I don't want anybody on this call, have any FTC problems after this, because you guys know what you need to do now. So implement everything, take that into consideration, and also the traffic stuff. Got some real good traffic jewels here. So don't everybody break their neck getting over to AOL or Android traffic. I already know some people are already there.
All of a sudden, all of our Android traffic is going to dry up.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, you have a good rest of the day, and we'll be talking.
Thanks, Greg.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Greg.
See ya.